So you're joining us here at Pines Lake, Great Linford Lakes, for a 48-hour session. It's 12:30 on Monday the 20th of June. We're in Milton Keynes, and last week was literally a storm every day in Milton Keynes. This week, start of the week, it's looking nice Tuesday and Wednesday, but today has literally been downpour from 6 AM, so we've left it later to come. As you can see, we're still setting up, or Mikey's. I've literally just cast my rods out, got all the bivvies set up, but yeah, as you can see, it totally flooded. We've just had absolutely tons of rain the last couple of weeks, as I think most of the country have, but we've already heard a couple of fish crash over towards Peg 2, but I'm fishing the left of Peg 1, Mike's fishing the right of Peg 1. And as I said, we're here for 48 hours, so we hope to have a few fish, but conditions are certainly pretty poor at the moment. As you can see, waterlogged everywhere, but it's just stopped raining, so we've got the camera out for a little introduction, and we'll keep you informed as to if we get any fish. So it's 2 PM. The rods have been about an hour and a half max. No bites as yet. We don't expect any, to be honest. We know the complex has been quite slow all the last couple of weeks, simply because the fish have started spawning then stopped, and I think they don't know what to do with themselves, to be honest. But yeah, Mike's fully in the water now. He's got set up. Sun's just come out briefly by the looks of it, but stopped raining, and it's a lovely summer's day now. Obviously there's a lot of flood water there. As you can see, it's very rarely at this time of year as flooded as that, but not a problem. We just hope the fish get over the bait over the next couple of days. As I said, we're the only ones on the lake. It's middle of the week, or Monday anyway, but yeah, looking forward to a couple of days fishing. So it's about 2:10. As you can see, the flooding. I've just recast both my rods, both got weed on them. I've got one just off the sort of lily pad reed bed there, and then one further out right off the far bank there. Mike is doing exactly the same. He's got one right a metre off the bank on that weed there, and then he's got one literally Peg 1 right in the corner, not in the corner, sorry, right in the margin, a couple of metres past that bush that you can't see. It's 2:15, and that big dark cloud, as you can see, that's hovering over is starting to rain again heavily. Bit of a weird day actually. You've got that blue sky over there, not that you can really see it, just behind the big tree, and you've got this huge dark cloud coming over, and then as you get back round, as you can see, it's light, so obviously going to be showers I think for the rest of the day, but looks like we've passed the worst of it. So 15:8, so that's 15:9, so that's 13:9, that's 12:15.
12:15, and it's a mirror.
Yeah, it's a mirror. Off the left-hand margin of the weed bed. It's getting back. First fish of the day, so pleased with that. So that fish weighed in at 12 pound 15 ounce. Nice little mirror. Nice markings on it, but as you can see, literally as we're putting it back, the heavens is open again. Mike's getting absolutely soaked, but he's just recast his rod. No, it's nice to get off the mark. It's been a very slow afternoon, but we expected that with all the rain this morning, and quite windy as well, so I think we'll have a few more this evening through tonight and into tomorrow, but yeah, it's a bit bleak out there at the moment. It looks like we're in for a long one.
So it's about 6 o'clock. Alex's right hand rod went off.
Just woke up. There's Mike's.
Alex is trying to wipe me out, or the fish is. So I'm going to just go back. Do I need to get me right in? Obviously the pegs are flooded. They keep coming into this bed of reeds just there, and oops, it's off again. Off again.
But you know that was 6 boilies that was on top of that.
That's a common. That's fine, mate. That's what you want. That's what it's all about.
The plateau. So that was a nice welcome surprise. 17.6 common, off the weed bed over on towards peg 2. You can see, that's it, you can see the weed sticking up there. It's a couple of yards back from that because it's a weed bed before the start of another weed bed. Only scattered about six boilies to be honest, but so that went off after 15 minutes of being in a recast. Finding the elements are a bit difficult with pulling a lot of weed in and stuff, but if you get it in the hole it looks good for a few fish. So yeah, 17.6 that common. So it's 7:20 on the Monday night. 40 minutes away from the England Slovakia game, so we're going to watch that and make some tea I think at the same time. But the sun's come out now, it's a beautiful evening. I've not had any other runs other than the 2, but both caught on alpha single 18mm baits made by Nature's Bait over beds of corn in the margin. The second fish came from the weed bed off single alpha, so yeah, Mike's struggling up that corner. We might swap in the morning so we can have a go over my favourite spots here, and I'll have a go over the right hand side, try and mix it up a bit. But I think tomorrow we'll fish better anyway because it's supposed to be quite a nice day without the torrential rain we've had this today and this morning. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully a couple of fish in the evening, maybe during the night, but if not we'll be straight back on it tomorrow. Oh look what we have here. Rudely awoken to Mike playing a fish. His alarm's just screamed up. It's very early, I'm just going to have a look. What, right?
So 23.8.
So that's 21.8. It's 2014.
The new PB.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought you had a 20 year last time.
No, oh, so was that? So 2014.
Yeah, 20,
no, sorry,
2014. Don't worry.
Me being half asleep.
Don't worry. Nice fish for that. 2014. Right. So there we have a lovely Pines Common. £20, 14 ounce. Beautiful fish from Michael. Just going to grab a couple of photos. Very well behaved fish. Not surprised though. I'd be the same if I'd been fighting Michael. I don't, it's right. It's fine. So success for Mike, £20, 14 ounce. Cracking start to the morning. Oh, nearly falling. Yeah, really pleased with that one. That was worth the wait. Biggest fish so far. And usually, as I said, the margins produce the bigger fish. But real good condition common as well, which is nice.
Really good.
So Mike's all chuffed, he's happy, and now we can enjoy the rest of the day, hopefully getting a few more.
It's exactly 2 minutes past 6 in the morning. Me and Alex were just sat in the little social shelter having a coffee after I caught that 20 pounder, and his left hand rod's ripped off into the margin. It's gone into the reeds. Alex is being very patient and he's slowly easing him out. Let's see if we can get a better picture. Oh, he's out. Nice bit of patient work there with Al. Keeping the pressure on. Do you want that right hand rod in?
Yeah, please.
Right.
Small little common. Haven't weighed him yet, but a lovely little fish. It's about six in the morning. So just had the third fish. Second in the morning for me and Mike. Mike's just put it back for me, or he's seeing it off anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that weighed in just over 11 pound, 11 pound 4. Beautiful condition fish. I think we're in for a good day because, as you can see, it's a lovely start to the day. No wind at all, and yeah, that was quite a quick response to recasting. I actually, one of my rigs in the margin was tangled up last night, so I spent the night with the tangled rig, and the other one was bitten by roach and smaller fish. So yeah, not much luck for me during the night, but nice to get off the mark this morning, and absolute pristine condition common, so quite chuffed with that, even if it's small. So yeah, looking for a good day, hopefully. Well, Mike's just had a run. We think it was a small bream or roach, and unfortunately, as you see, he's just gone straight in. He's dripping wet. He slipped and he's about to go again. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke. Oh dear. He's a bit wet there. I think your boots might need to dry out, mate.
Yeah.
It's a shame we didn't get that on footage, but
It was inevitable, wasn't it?
oh dear. One wet Michael and a missed fish as well. So very chuffed, I'm sure. Return back to the swim. Been a couple of hours at home. Seems to be going mental over there. I've been a couple of hours home to recharge all my batteries to the camera. Don't like doing it, but I prefer to have the cameras on me, so obviously I had my rods out, so they need recasting, but it's all quiet here, so let's see what Mike's up to. Oh, he's awake. There he is.
I'm alright, mate.
Plaster on the head,
I've got
waterlogged boots.
something to show you.
Oh, he's got something to show me.
Just after you left,
Yeah.
kept getting bleeps on that right hand rod.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure. Couple of bleeps, nothing. Couple of bleeps, nothing. Doing me head in. So,
Did tell you to ring me if you got one.
so there we go.
A beautiful roach.
So when are you going to cook breakfast? Nah, joke.
So we're just deliberating over who's cooking breakfast at the moment. It's a bit slow. I've only just returned to the peg. It's about 11:30. Had the rods out about 10 minutes. A few fish crashing on the far bank, but as I said, Mike's had nothing. But then you're not going to when you spend half the morning asleep, so.
Nice.
You're welcome.
So while Alex was at home making himself look beautiful as he normally does, I had a £2 roach on the right hand rod. So
It wasn't, there's no way it was £2.
It was £2. Trust me. I have no reason to lie. So
Did you wait?
I can just tell. I would.
This is the guy who once, when we first came down here on his first session, he weighed a carp and told me it was about £21, and I took one look at it and thought, you are taking the piss.
That's because my scale's wrong.
His scales were £6 out,
Yeah.
even though they were brand
As
new.
I work
So-
for a company that sells scales, I then
which is
bought-
even more worrying.
No,
so
hang on. I then bought a new pair of scales, good reputable scales. I won't say the company's name. They work. I have them calibrated. I know they're bob on. I didn't weigh the roach. It's about £2.
yeah, probably a £1 3 ounce maybe.
It was a nice little
I've
roach.
had a
anyway.
£2 roach and it was twice the size of that. So
Okay, well, it was a nice little roach. Around about the £2 mark.
£1 3 ounce.
Well,
Nice fish though, but
nice little fish.
not the fish we're after.
Not the fish we're after, so that's gone back in, nice and gently, and the rods are back out. My left hand rod is over on the far bank again, 16mm boilie I think it is, with half a bright orange pop up on the top of that, just for a bit of visibility. Right hand rod I've baited exactly the same, in the margin. Once again 16mm boilie, half a bright orange pop up on the top, just so you can see there. Alex is
I'm using Alpha from Nature's Bait, single boilies, 18mm over a bed of corn. Left hand margin, that's where I had 2 of my fish. I've also had 1 from the weed bed, but I got cut off yesterday, so I've gone now to the far bank to ensure that doesn't happen again, because no one likes a trailing line. So I've cast towards the few fish that were moving around the far bank, but nothing as yet. But I think it's quite weedy out there, so I'm going to recast every hour, see what happens.
yeah, it is quite slow. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing into this corner where we are. The weather's better than yesterday. I've just about dried out after having a little fall in a little slip in the lake this morning.
I just wish I could have
I've managed to get my wellies back on, so
wish I could
they're
have got that
dry.
on camera, because that was a classic video moment.
It seems to happen with me. Wherever I go, I seem to fall in the lake.
Just that little look on his face to say, I'm going.
I've gone.
Obviously, I was more worried about getting the camera on him to capture it, but
So,
no, I think we'll
That's-
have.
that's
I think
quite-
we'll have a few fish this afternoon. If I'm honest, I think the conditions are better. Obviously, it's still flooded, but I don't see why that should be a problem. I think it's just a bit slow this time of year. I thought when we first came yesterday that they hadn't spawned out, but we've seen plenty of tiny little fish. So unless that's like your roach and stuff like that spawning, I'm pretty confident that most of the fish will have spawned. But yeah, I think it's just slow. You got to wait for bite times, which is around about an hour's time, and then early evening. We didn't have a knock through the night, which is strange really, especially on peg 1, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? And both my rods were full of weeds, so that explains why I didn't get one.
4:30 in the morning I had a 20-pounder.
Yeah, but even then it was light, because it's that time of year. It's the longest day of the year I think today, so yeah, hopefully we'll have a couple tonight, who knows. But at the moment it's 3-1, and I don't like to brag, but there's a long way for Mike to come back.
That's fine. 3-1. It's shocking, isn't it?
Oh, as we speak.
Oh, wrong one.
So Alex there was doing his little reenactment of Matty Hayes' famous one where he struck the wrong rod.
I did say there were fish over on that far bank.
You did. They were crashing there all yesterday.
They've gone straight into weed because they got the wrong rod.
Schoolboy error.
It's out, it's coming towards me. That's good, so we got it off the dodgy sort of plateau, which leads to quite a few cut-offs. Now you can get them trudging into the crap. In she goes. Shall we just get a photo, mate? There you go, 1310 common. Sorry, 1310 common. Caught off the far bank. So that common weighed in at 1310. Nice fish, only 10-15 minutes after putting it in on the far bank, right over the point there. I did see, as I mentioned earlier, a few fish crashing, so it didn't really surprise me that one took my bait, but I guess I spoke too soon, taking the piss out of Mike falling in the lake when myself I picked up the wrong rod to strike, which was quite funny. But yeah, my Nash Sirens, I really like them, but I must admit the one thing they don't give you is a clear indication of an LED, so you're kind of always wondering which rod it is, so you're looking for the rod bending round. I'm sure that's just me. I don't carry my receiver with me unless, you know, unless I need to. So, but no, I picked up the wrong rod. Thought I'd lost it, and my other rod was still going off, so that was quite embarrassing. But no, that was on a single alpha. I bought a load of alpha from Nature's Baits a couple of months ago, and I'm still trying to get through it, simply because you can't feed baits here other than certain ones, such as sticky and stuff like that. So I'm literally fishing single alpha on over beds of corn and stuff like that. So that 5 kilogram I bought 2 months ago has lasted me already so far, and I've still got about 2.5 kilogram left. So no, it's good bait, produces well. So do most baits on here, to be honest. You know, I used to use the sticky krill. Still a good backup to have, but no, I mean most baits work well. It's more about location, I think, on this lake.
We were just having breakfast, discussing the finer points of the EU referendum and whether we should stay in or out. And Alex's left-hand rod ripped off, and it did rip off. It was a nice little run, and he actually managed to strike at the right rod this time. What's always encouraging. And then he proceeded to moan at me because before I started recording I finished eating my sausage bap. Well, I don't think there's any problem with that. Didn't realise there was etiquette to this. And I'm now recording him playing probably another mid-double. But fair play. Beautiful.
I could definitely work for the BBC.
There you go, lovely mirror. There she goes. So that fish weighed in at 15-13, lovely mirror, first one of the session. The wind's picked up now, and as you can see it's turned into quite a cloudy, overcast day, not really a problem, good fishing conditions. Like a western, southern westerly breeze. So we've got the waters coming into the near bank margin, which is perfect for me and Mike where we're fishing. That fish was off the near margin on the left. But yeah, we're hoping for a few more. It's good. It's about 12:30, 1 o'clock maybe, and a couple of fish this sort of lunchtime, so hoping for a few more this afternoon.
I've not got a clue what the time is. But I'm just having a bit of a chill. I'd say it's about 2 o'clock now, wouldn't you, Al?
Yeah, about that.
About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, aroundish. We were just having a bit of a chill, bit of quiet time. And Alex's right-hand rod, what was... I'll bring the camera around.
Not looking good though.
And it was there off the point, but it's now come across and it's here on the platter in the weed, what has been notorious for being snapped. As you can see,
I
can't get it in, is that? I'm going to come round. Alex is over on the platter here. It's stuck in the weed. As you can see, he's
So that's second fish lost for me. Luckily, shed the hook straight. We went through the weed bed, and it shed the hook from its mouth, and then the hook got stuck in a weed. So I've got all my tackle back, which is great. Pulled out a big piece of weed in the process, but that fish got away with it. But it's better to see it get away safe than obviously to be stuck in the weed bed. So it's a shame about that one, but it was about 50 minutes after the last fish, 40 minutes. We were just chatting and it ripped off, but I've gone straight back over there. Mike's now about to pack up a few things and just move over to Peg 2 properly. I've told him to fish on that far bank, so there's a lot of fish showing, so he's going to have a go over there properly, taking all his stuff, so see if he can get a few more fish out. So apologies for the lack of update over the last few hours. It's about 6:30. It's been a real slow afternoon actually. Mike has just returned from Peg 2 where he's had a bit of a stalk. He lost one in the margin off the far bank. He lost one in the weed about half an hour after being in Peg 2, but he spent another couple of hours there and not had anything. That's where the majority of the fish we're seeing show is literally all along that far bank there next to the lily pads and weed bed there. But the actual main weed beds are that prominent now that it's just full of fish, but obviously you've got all the problems of this lake with getting cut off, so I've changed my tactics. I've still got one in the margin here, but not had a sniff now for 3 or 4, 5 hours, and I've gone straight over there on the far bank about a metre off of putting some bait and hoping that any patrolling fish tonight will get over it. At least I know that if I get a run there I won't be cut off. Whilst Mike was cut off earlier on, about 10 minutes later I was cut off as well, again off the back wall on the point there where I've been fishing most of the session. It was snapped within about 5 or 6 seconds of the run, so I didn't even have a chance. So Mike's returning now. We're using this downtime and slow period of the session to probably go and get some food from the local takeaway. Mike's just, as I said, resetting up, and then going to get some food and hopefully get on some fish again at some point this evening. So it's kebab and chips for me and Mike. It's about 8:45. It's gone really quiet, as you can see. Don't think about a fish since about 3:30, 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's beautifully still, nice little sunset, fish crashing, and yet nothing is having it. One of those days, I'm afraid. So the light's just starting to fade now. It's gone past 10 o'clock. Probably the longest day of the year, I think, or there or thereabouts. But no, it hasn't been a disappointing session. It's been enjoyable. As I said, I've had 5 fish lost, got snapped on 3. Mike's had 1, lost 1. I've also lost another 1. So in terms of runs, we've had plenty of runs, but yeah, none of the big girls have showed over the last couple of days. Obviously got tomorrow morning and tonight where we might pull a few more out, but very strange at the moment actually, because there's a lot of fish activity, but all over the lake, whereas in previous years it's predominantly been warm, but I don't think the flood water helps with that. So about 7:45 in the morning, not a single touch last night. Wound my rods in, nothing on them. Just don't think the fish are in the area. There's loads of swirls and stuff, but I think it's pike and perch attacking the little spawn fish. But yeah, that's my battery going in my alarm. I've got to change that in a minute. But yeah, not a single sniff. Mike was snagged up on one rod in his margin rod, so he didn't have anything either. But yeah, real frustrating, disappointing night. We've woke up a bit later than planned. I guess because nothing's happened, but we'll just recast the rods now and see if we can do anything for the last 4 or 5 hours of the session, but it doesn't look good at the moment.
Right, well, Alex has just had a couple of bleeps on his right hand rod. So he's just brought it in. False alarm. He's just going to pop it back out there. That's where he is. He's out just off the lilies on the point. A little bit of rain in the air. So it's about half 12. I've just popped out to the shop. And I brought my rods in, and Alex did a fantastic cast right up into the margin. Get a bit of view from here. So he's right up in that corner. A great cast. Anyway, it's just screamed off after about 5 minutes, and I think it's took him in the weed. It's just slowly and methodically trying to work it out, keeping the pressure on.
Well, the most bizarre 5-10 minutes have just occurred. As you can see, I've got no rods in the water. Just had a double take, believe it or not. My left hand rod was over on the point there. I used Mike's setup whilst he went to the shop, and I cast right in the corner of the right hand side. Really good cast, and literally zoomed off after 5 minutes. That went straight into the corner of the reeds, and I lost that. And then this one also holed up. I think it shed the hook, and then the hook got stuck in the sort of slate or whatever it is on the bottom, and lost that one too. So that's now 5 lost fish, and really frustrating, to be honest, because there is so much weed. The flood water probably doesn't help, but you know, to lose 5 fish in a row, it's really disappointing, and just shows you that you can have a great session and also a really bad session at the same time sometimes. But yeah, so lost both fish, both runs, double take within a minute. I did say earlier on film it was bite time. Lunchtime's a great time on this lake, but as I said, to lose 2 fish instantly at the same time is just. I gave Mike the one rod, I had the other rod, and as I said, both come off, both hold up in the weed and on the slate. So I'm not sure now whether to bother resetting up. I've only got a good hour left on the lake. I've got a huge tangler line there. Luckily I got all the hook. I got the hook, the weight, and the back lead as well. The fish is safe, so that's the most important thing. But yeah, frustrating. And to be honest, after the commotion of all that, I doubt there's many fish left in the area, because I'm sure they'd have moved out. Managed to tie one rod back up. It's absolutely chucking it down again now. I'm going to start packing up. It's been a very indifferent session. At times really good, with lots of runs quickly, but obviously losing those fish put a dampener on things. We're only on till about 1:30. So we're going to start packing our things up now, and unless you hear from us, that'll be the end of that. So, end of a session. We're just about to pack up now. Mike, as usual, wants to give himself one last chance with scattering a few boilies out on the far bank. But it's been a very difficult session, I think, for this time of year. Usually Pines is thriving in June, but I think the flood water, as you can see, it's, you know, the end of the peg is usually by that pipe, so all this flood water we've had has given the fish a lot more margin to sort of hang around, search for food, and ultimately tangle lines up and shred the hooks. And I think we found that over the last couple of days we've lost a few fish ultimately into the weed beds because it is so prominent. But you know, you've got to fish to the weed because that's where the fish are. Otherwise, you might as well just sit on the bank and watch the water. But yeah, Mike's just chucking a few. Have you enjoyed yourself, Mike?
I have. It's
Yeah.
been an interesting session.
It has, hasn't it?
It's been a bit calamitous from the start, setting up in the torrential rain, what's never pleasant. Then
Falling in the lake.
me slipping in the lake 5 minutes after washing myself down and putting fresh clothes on, you know, and then Alex sitting on the video having a little Mickey take a little dig at me about falling in the lake and running off and striking the wrong rod.
Yeah.
And you know, and it just sort of like
And then,
did it then.
and then a weird 20 hours where we've kind of waited without any sort of bleat whatsoever other than the double tape right at the end there, which we lost both. So
Yeah, I mean, I lost one on peg 2. I did move up to peg 2 for a few hours
sorry you did, yeah.
yesterday afternoon. The fish were showing over there, they weren't showing down in the corner here, and I lost one in the lilies. So you know, that was my own fault.
Yeah, and I think a piece of advice, even though as I said it's floodwater, is, you know, you try and cast into the corner there of one where a lot of the fish hold up and don't really move out of, but will respond instantly to bait or a hook bait there, is that, you know, you've got to give yourself a lot of line on your back lead out into the middle because the fish will immediately go straight into the corner. And as we've just seen, it's, you know, all those reeds there, they'll just shed the hook and you'll be stuck in the reeds coupled with about 15 trees and branches. So no, it's been a good session. We always love the pines, always plenty of bites, and if you think about it, we've had 6 fish between us, but we've also lost the same amount of fish. So
You've lost the same amount.
well, I've lost the same amount of fish there. But yeah, we're going to pack up now and we'll see you on the bank next time. Thanks for watching.